And good morning. Hey, I'm the Fort Worth Playboy, and this is the Fort Worth Playboy Morning Show. Beautiful Tuesday morning, July 2nd. And I just realized I can read that off of Twitter. I've been looking around for the calendar on this computer for a while. We're glad you're here. And what do we cover on the Fort Worth Playboy Morning Show? We cover game, pickup, relationships, and sex. When I say we, it's my Playboys Bunny and I are partners in this endeavor. And we have Fort Worth Playboy at .gumroad.com, and we have myplayboysbunny.gumroad.com where our products are available. And she is live with me on Thursday mornings. And I always encourage men, if you have questions, if you have a question that you would want to ask a girl that you've never been able to ask, that's the time to ask it, because we can tap into her as a resource to get interesting questions answered and to get the women's perspective of it, especially filtered. She does understand how the red pill works. For whatever reason, she is able to filter this and read this as we do, and also as a female. If you have a question, go to YouTube and go into the comments section on the right-hand side, and you can ask it there. I'll do my absolute best to get it answered during the broadcast. If you ask it on Twitter, I will not see it till after the show, but I can still try to address it to the best of my ability. Comments, questions, anything that we're covering. And usually we cover like 4 or 5 subjects, tweets that are going to be out throughout the day. So we always start off with a maxim from Chateau Hartiste. Put about 200 of these together over 7 years. And today's is number 56 out of about 200. Maxim number 56. The more limited a person's options in the sexual market, the laxer his or her mate standards. This is where you tend, and in this case, we will look at it from the men's perspective. Where do you find men going out with women that are 1 or 2 points below what they would normally be going out? Anytime there's a limited supply, you'll see men lower their standards. The classic example of this is the military, where there's a limited supply of women, and you go into basic training, and the girls that might be in basic around you or the staff are absolutely hideous and just unattractive. And then about 8, 10, 12 weeks in, they don't look so bad. They actually look viable. They look like girls, because you have been deprived for so long that literally your standards naturally, it's like your natural aim readjusts to what's in your environment. And that's what I think. When your choices are limited, and I think guys have talked about this, like in San Francisco, if they're in smaller towns, you'll see, for whatever, it's the strangest thing. I see it in motocross a lot. You see handsome men who have it together with women that are 2, maybe 3 points below him in attractiveness. And sometimes, especially like in motocross, you'll see some sharp guys that look like they should be like in movies, and the girl is like 1 step above, selling her ass for meth. It's really a strange thing to observe, but you see it, and you know it when you see it. But the more limited your options in the sexual market, the laxer your mate standards will be. Again, people generally naturally adjust. And I've seen some guys that are pretty adamant about, like, yeah, I don't like going out with they don't like going out with girls that are below a certain level. But even in a constrained environment, they will adjust their aim over time. And you see that, and like I said, I see it a lot, most consistently in the military. You find it in some geographic parts of the country where there's just more men, and the women tend to not be as attractive. And San Francisco is usually given as a example of that, even in the heterosexual group. And then, certain sports you tend to see like handsome men and not that attractive women for whatever reason. It's just a way they kind of hook up or link up. But you just have to know, and you can counter this. If you want to date better looking women, you have to get yourself into the environment where they're at. Because guys always, always kind of like know guys are full of shit when they reach out and they're like, oh, I only date 9s and 10s. And I'll say, well, where do you live? And they'll be like, like Sioux City, Iowa. Well, look, if you're not in Miami, maybe New York City, you're not going to be dating a bunch of 9s and 10s. You can date attractive girls that you find attractive, or the girls that are attractive for the area, but true women that make their living off of the media and their appearance alone, and they were born into it, are going to be in very specific parts of the country, and you don't have access to them. But a good example of a guy going from like 0 to hero is if you take a guy that's kind of average at a small high school and then put him in a large university where it brings all the best people in one place, or like a big state university. And then he is all of a sudden in a sexual market that flourishes with hot women. Again, you'll never be in a better environment than college, unless you put yourself like into community college or someplace that is restrained. But most college campuses are the best place for a young guy to do extremely well. You could almost say the less limited your options are, the greater your variety and the higher your mate standards can be. And this is normal. Again, you'll see some real schlubs with some very attractive women on a college campus because it's so plentiful. Again, put yourself, if you want to move up the chain, you got to put yourself in an environment where there's a lot of attractive women. And it's kind of like Dan Kennedy used to say, we talk about like our fitness business. You want to be in a neighborhood where you don't have to be that good to make money. You want to be in affluent neighborhoods with not a lot of competition. You want to be someplace that you don't have to be that good. I mean, you might as well make your life easier. So if you truly do have a standard in your head, or you are hitting a certain like level, you're just closing sixes left and right, and you want to move up the food chain, you have to get yourself into that environment where there's more 7s and 8s around. One's not going to do it. You're going to flub it because you think about, a lack, or instead of having a lot of abundance, you're like, there's not many around here. So you will tend to choke. Just remember, if you want to do better, you got to get yourself in the right environment, and the right environment can accelerate your game wildly. Being around other men that are good at game, being around a lot of attractive women is good for you. And especially if it's your day-to-day, because you will get very good very fast. Again, the more limited a person's options in the sexual marketplace, the laxer his or her mate standards. But you should spin this and keep this in mind, because we want you guys going up the food chain as you want to. Some guys are happy at a 5 or a 6. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want to move up, you need to get yourself into the environment where there's a lot of 7s, 8s, 9s, and these are very specific environments. But guys that have been there know exactly where they're at. And sometimes you have to earn your way in, or you have to be known, but there's ways in. Nothing, damn near nothing is impossible with all this stuff, because other people have come before you and have figured it out. Again, if you want to do well, you got to get yourself in the right environment where you don't actually have to be that good to close attractive women. Happens all the time. Men are able to do this. Next slide, which actually figures into that. Usually I don't have anything that matches. Usually we're kind of all over the place in the morning. But again, you want to get better at game. You want to move up the food chain. You're tired of banging girls that are a 4 or 5, and you want to move up. Practice talking to girls. Say hi to every not ugly girl you see. Flirt, make small talk, ask a question. Get comfortable talking to girls. It improves your charisma, makes you magnetic to others, and you can easily transition to running game. Again, you don't have to ask every girl out that you talk to. You don't have to ask for a number. You don't have to have a plot of what I want to get out of this person. It's probably not in your best interest. You want to get very, very good at the basics, which is always being sociable. It will carry you incredibly far. Again, some guys, this is not for them, but again, they tend to avoid game. If you're here and you want to get better at talking to women and being around women and moving women from complete stranger to naked and in your bed, enthusiastically in your bed, then you're going to have to get good at saying hi to women. That's where it starts. Guys are always like, where do I start? This is where it begins. This is the basic. This is the one thing that you can see that players all tend to have in common is they're very social. It doesn't mean that they're like extroverts. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean any change of their core personality. It means they say hi to nearly every woman they see. And guys get all bent out of shape. Well, I don't want to talk to unattractive women. Just every attractive girl you see, say hi to her. Get used to it because you want the basics to become automatic. You want it to be like if you're in a sport and throwing the ball, catching the ball, hitting the ball with a bat, running the bases. These are the basics. These are the basics that you'll always train on in some manner each day. You'll touch on the basics in every sport. You do the same thing with game. You touch on the basics every day. And the number one basic is making eye contact, saying hi, being personable with all women that you find attractive, or not ugly should be better because you need to work your way. You need to have a base and then work your way and be personable. And it will carry dividends. And it does two things. One, like I said, it makes you magnetic. Other women see you talking to other women. This is always a good thing. Women want what other women have. They're not sure because they've made so many bad decisions in their lives that they keep a secret from you or everybody else that they're cautious of making a decision with you. So if they see another girl talking to you, well, you must be okay. So that is, you walk in with a girl, you walk in with a different girl every day. She starts going, well, maybe there's something about this guy. Again, curiosity will draw. They're like cats. Curiosity draws them in. But practice talking to girls. Again, sometimes what you will find very quickly is when you do this, girls will start opening conversations with you. Hey, how are you doing today? Great. And then because it's so rare. And the girls that are savvy, it's so rare for them to be around a guy with a personality that they're not going to let you just wander off. So say hi to every not ugly girl you see. Flirt, make small talk. Ask a question. Get comfortable talking to girls. And this really counts too when you want to move up the food chain. When you're used to in 5s and 6s and you I want to date 8s. You have to get very comfortable at your level. And then when the opportunity arises that a better looking girl, remember, the higher the food chain, the more rare they are, does come into your purview, it's automatic. You'll be talking to her before you even realize how attractive she is most of the time. And that's what I've found from most men and from my own experiences. You'll already be talking to her and then you realize she's like a level above. It's because it's so automatic. You just talk to every girl you see. It improves your charisma, makes you magnetic to others, and you will find yourself seeing more attractive women because your eye starts picking it up. It starts looking, you're not ignoring your environment. You start picking up that there's more attractive women in your environment than you realized before. And that's one of those strange things that happens when you do start picking up this habit of saying hi to every attractive girl you see. You start seeing more attractive girls. There's literally no downside. And then after you get better at this and becomes very much second nature, and we're talking like within a week or two, you can transition to running game on some of them. And just when you feel when you pick up the right vibe, you're getting the right answers, you have your script, you know what you want to say, and you can, or they seem more friendly than your average girl, you can open them and kind of move them towards meeting up at another time or doing a same day date. Guys that run day game are very good at this. It just depends on what your tolerance is, and how you feel in that moment as far as like moving her from stranger to in your bed. So practice talking to girls. Talk to every attractive girl you see. That's how you begin this. This is how you end this. This is something that you do every day. It is foundational. It's probably the foundational exercise that you have to practice on a day-to-day basis to get good at game. The guys that are good all carry this one thing, and that's it. They practice talking to girls, and they say hi to every attractive girl they see. Next slide. The 16 Commandments of Poon from Chateau Hartiste. We're going to cover Make Her Jealous today. And we covered a lot of jealousy yesterday, a lot of jealousy plot lines. Make her jealous. Flirt with other women in front of her. Do not dissuade other women from flirting with you. Women will never admit this, but jealousy excites them. The thought of you turning on another woman will arouse her sexually. No girl wants a man that no other girl wants. The partner who harnesses a gale storm of jealousy controls the direction of the relationship. Number one is the thought of another girl turning you on will arouse her sexually. No girl wants a man that no other woman wants. And you will see a consistent line with women over time where they don't even know they like a guy until he's distracted by another girl. She doesn't even know she likes him until she's jealous. And it happens more often than you realize. Most girls are so lackadaisical. They're so unmoved. They're so numb. They're and out of touch with what's going on around them. Guys will be approaching. Guys will like chase him. Guys will be friendly to him. And she's not even that interested till he loses interest, whether she realizes it or not. And he shows up with a new girlfriend. And she's cuter than her. And she's funner than her. And she's more interesting than her. She's like, why am I annoyed? I didn't like him. I like him now, though. Girls are naturally competitive, and they naturally need social proof around them. And when you didn't have any other bitches, she didn't have any proof that you're attractive. So now she has some. Now she has some competition. She's a little bit jealous, and jealousy goes immediately to her groin, and she gets the tingles. Again, girls love to chase men who are already having sex with other women. They'll never admit this. Of all the things you can say, he's narcissistic, he's selfish, he's self-centered, he's a con. You can name all of these things, and girls will begrudgingly admit, yes, they find that attractive. But when you bring up the fact that they're also looking for men who are already having sex with other women, they will deny it and fight you and get all bent out of shape and deny it till they run out of oxygen, when in fact it's as interesting and attractive to them as him being 6'8". It's just hardwired. So make her jealous. You don't have to drive them crazy, and be careful if you're talking about being married. You don't want to end up in divorce court for something that you created yourself. Again, but make her jealous. Leverage a little bit of jealousy. Do not, just like he says, do not dissuade other women from flirting with you. It turns women on when they see other women being attracted to you. Women will never admit this, but jealousy excites them. It's kind of like one of the other stories I shared where a guy, they're walking through a restaurant, and this girl notices a girl paying attention to her boyfriend and said, you have an admirer. And then as soon as they got home, she's on her knees and just going to town. And he said it was directly related to this girl just watching him walk across the room. That's enough to get girls motivated to reestablish, that connection, because it turns them on. The thought of you turning on another woman will arouse her sexually as well. No other girl wants a man that no other woman wants. You have to realize that your perception of jealousy and women's perception of jealousy are 180 degrees in opposition. For men, jealousy tends to make them sick to their stomach. Just the thought of his girlfriend or girl being with somebody else throws him off. It makes him angry. It will affect his sexual performance, all kinds of things. Where jealousy with a woman of seeing you with another woman turns them on. The idea of you turning on other women doesn't mean you should be doing it physically, but the idea of it turns her on, and it will make them chase you. It will make them pursue you. It lowers their defenses, and they become more amenable. So just keep that in mind. You want to use it to your advantage. And remember, it turns her on too. It's to her benefit when there's a little bit of a jealousy plot line in there in your life with your girl. It benefits her. She likes to be turned on. She likes to have that pain. Remember, girls like emotions. They love that roller coaster. So they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. And if you don't give it to her, she's going to create it herself on her own timeline. And then you're fucked. So remember, make her jealous. Flirting with other women in front of her. Do not dissuade other women from flirting with you. Women will never admit this, but jealousy excites them. The thought of you turning on another woman will arouse her sexually. No girl wants what a man no other girl wants. Remember that. The partner who harnesses a gale storm of jealousy controls the direction of the relationship. Chateau Hartis, 16th Commandment of Poon. 16 Commandments of Poon. Next slide. If you guys have any questions. Tuesday mornings are not, Monday mornings and Friday mornings are great for interaction. Thursdays are getting better because Bunny's here. She tends to attract questions and men and attention, which is always a plus. But Tuesday mornings, not so much. Brick City's in. Another woman getting excited in front of the girl you want is the best makeup for men. Exactly. It is a attraction enhancers. Brick City says about jealousy. Another woman getting excited in front of your girl that you want is the best makeup for men. It does. It raises your value. Again, some girls, not all, but most don't even know they like you until they start feeling jealousy. And it can be so. It can be like she's completely neutral about you. She's not even aware, aware that you're around. And then a girlfriend brings you up around her like, hey, Mike's cute. Or, hey, have you ever thought about going out with Mike? Because I'm thinking about going out with Mike. Then they start, then they start thinking about it. Again, and Brick mentions the basics. Again, this is a basic, and it's one of those 180-degree basics that most guys do the exact opposite. They don't flirt with other girls in front of their girlfriend. They don't, entertain other attention because they don't want her doing that to them. But it's two opposite. These are two different things. Kind of like girls don't approach men, men approach women. Jealousy makes men crazy and turns them off. Jealousy makes women turned on and attracts them. So, it's one of those things you have to realize what the difference is. But I appreciate your comment, Brick City. Let's see, we got the next slide is up. When she says she's single, this means she doesn't have a boyfriend, not that she's not fucking other men. That's one thing, this covert communication. Girls use words and phrases that is implied again. And if you miss it, that's not her problem. But when a girl says he's just a friend, the implication is I fucked this guy, or I'm fucking this guy, or I'm about to fuck this guy. Again, women do not mention men that they are not interested in fucking. They will never bring it up. Savvy girls don't even mention their own family members the first few months you're dating because they know guys get kind of crazy or they're distracted by, they won't even talk about their dad or their brother or their uncle or any men in their life. If they don't know any better, if they've never been trained, yes, sometimes they'll talk about these guys, but you have to retrain them. Like, they start talking about some other guy. You go, don't you have like girlfriends you can talk to about this? This isn't really my thing. So you're dismissive and just shut it down as fast as it happens. But again, When she says she's single, it doesn't mean she's not having sex with 1, 2, 3 other guys at that time. Again, it just means she hasn't earned girlfriend status with one of them. This means she doesn't have a boyfriend, not that she's not fucking other men. If you meet an attractive or somewhat attractive girl, there is a 99% chance that she's having sex with someone. She's got a fuck buddy. She's got a friend with benefits. She's got a guy that's in a situationship. There's an ex-boyfriend that comes over once a week. There's something going on in the background. But when she says she's single, it means she's open to suggestion. So the good part is, yes, it means make me an offer. I might just take you up on it. I'm open to it. But it does not mean, and girls do use it and they want you to, that's what they want you to assume, that they're not having sex with other men, but they are. That's one of those things that you realize very quickly once you really begin to understand women, is that they're never, ever single. They're always seeing somebody. There's always a guy. Because women, their entire personality is based off of their relationships and their relationship to a man. And so they're going to have that running in the background. So and I don't want you guys to get caught off guard, like some girl says she's single and then you guys are together 6 months and then you start finding out, she was fucking a buddy of yours and another local guy and the electrician, because she told you she was single. But that doesn't mean she wasn't having sex with other people. You have to realize that when she says she's single, it's covert for, I don't have a boyfriend. No man has committed to me, or I've not committed to any one guy. I'm still having sex, just I don't have a boyfriend, or I haven't earned the right to be a girlfriend to any of these guys. So just remember, there's going to always be communication. I do have a couple of tweets that are like all the different phrases girls use to cover their tracks, kind of like, what are you doing this? I'm traveling. I'm going to Nashville. It means I'm going to have sex with a number of people over the weekend. Again, or, what'd you do this weekend? She says nothing. She was banging some regular guy. Again, it's all covert. They can't come out and say what they're actually doing. And it's you, and it's your own fault. This is how what do you mean? You said you were single. Well, I thought that I was still seeing Mike on the side. And you'll be like, no, but it's your own fucking fault, because girls are never single. Again, that's your own fault. Girls kind of like give you the responsibility back, and it's your job to know these things and be savvy. When she says she's single, this means she doesn't have a boyfriend, not that she's not fucking other men. And she will fuck you too if you play your cards right. That's what it should convey to you. When you hear single, you go, oh, she's a freelancer. She's available. She'll fuck me too. You just got to move her from complete stranger to naked and in your bed. But don't let it fool you that she's not seeing other people. She's working those options as well. Next slide. My girl, 6 months in, questions if I really like desire. We fuck consistently, right, baby? Is that good then? Again, answer questions. Yes, it's good that she asks, but do not tell her directly. Instead, tease, push, pull, mess with her head. Do you really like me? And just be, I'm still here, aren't I? You smell funny, but yes. Yes. Pull her tight and then push her away. Go, no, yes, no, yes, no, until you become fatigued. Always be fucking with your girl. And again, if they ask for some type of question, always frame it in that she's a great sexual plaything for you. And that should be what makes her happy. Again, we're honey, are we together? Yes, we're fucking consistently, aren't we? Yes. Well, then we're together. Close enough. That's what you have to say. It's just kind of like the no compliments. I always tell guys, no compliments. And when you do start complimenting, it should be something that's like, you've got the tightest pussy I've fucked this week. Or I love how firm your titties are. Just something that she's your plaything and you really appreciate banging her, and she's fun to have sex with. Those are the kind of compliments you want to, again, encourage the right behaviors and discourage the wrong behaviors. So instead of telling her you like a picture you saw of her on Insta, tell her you love fucking her ass, because you want to encourage the right behaviors and you don't want her taking a bunch of selfies on Insta probably. So you have to always compliment things that are positive and sexually satisfying for you. Again, those are the important, and you're complimenting her. And again, when a girl asks for reassurance, you need to reassure her that you enjoy having sex with her. And that is all she needs to know, because she will encourage herself to be the best sex that you're having. Again, my girl asks, do I like her? Do I desire her? We're fucking, aren't we? That's all you need to know. Again, she knows that you're attracted to her as long as your dick is going in and out of her on a daily basis. That's what she needs to know. And that's the behavior that needs to be reinforced. I can't make it any more simple than this, but you should always push it sexual, because that's what she's there for. Otherwise, she's just a friend. And you got enough friends. So yes, it's good that she asks, are you happy? But do not tell her directly. Instead, push, pull, tease, mess with her. Do you really like me? I'm still here, aren't I? You smell funny, but yes. And then you can always yank her around. Yes, no, yes, no. But it's even better to just make it sexual. We love fucking. Don't you love fucking me? Do I look happy? So always push it sexual. It reminds her of why she's there and what makes her different than all the other women vying for her position in your life. Last slide. Something that I think slows men down on the front end. Well, let's go through this. Unless you marry right out of high school, you will run through hundreds, if not thousands, of women in your lifetime. One thing that slows men down early on is investing too much into each girl. When you learn over time that you're going to have a couple that are significant or more significant than all the others, but you need to learn to move quickly and replace quickly. And when something fucks up, to move on quickly. And that's why you always want to have lots of options running in the background until some girl has really proven herself to be worthwhile to stick around. You're going to go through hundreds, if not thousands, of women in your lifetime. And guys get too stuck. It's just like we encourage guys to practice recovering quickly from fuck ups. You blow a girl, you fuck it up, she gets into a huff, she leaves a date early, something goes wrong. And guys will sit there or she fucks him a couple times, then goes. And guys will sit there and spend days, weeks, months trying to recover. What did I do wrong? And that's why I encourage guys, 99.9% of the time, you did nothing wrong. It was simply an ex came back on the scene with the girl. 99% of the time, she flakes. It has nothing to do with you. And 99% of those times, it's an ex comes back on the scene. That's the real deal. And you need to there's times for reflection. There's times to reflect and improve your game and to study. Yes. And to practice. But in the middle of game is not the time for stopping and reflecting and worrying and questioning yourself. You need to move on to the next girl. And you will quickly find yourself forgetting the fuck ups, forgetting the flubs, because your game is tight, your game is solid, and it was just a matter of another ex came back on the scene with the girl. You're going to go through hundreds, if not thousands, of women in your lifetime. And the faster you recover, the faster you move on to the next girl, the faster you will learn how easily replaceable most of these women are. I mean, your memory, what we always say, cultivate a short memory. You will recover more quickly, move on more quickly. You will entertain more girls. You'll get a better reputation. Guys will admire you. Girls will want to be with you. You have to move quickly. Not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay. It does not mean that there's something fundamentally wrong with your game or with you or with anything you're doing. You're here, you know more than 99% of the population about women. You're already way ahead of the game. Most guys are just winging it, and they're happy with any little like crumb of pussy that lands in his lap and pulls his zipper down, because that's what it's going to take. With you, you're proactive. You're saying hi to every girl you see. You know how to move a girl from stranger to naked and enthusiastically in your bed. There's no downside. You're entertaining and a great thing for most women to stumble upon. And be in your presence, it turns them on and it benefits them. Again, game benefits everyone. You're more attractive, they're more turned on, everyone wins. But just keep in mind, you need to recover quickly, and there's only going to be like a handful out of thousands of girls, maybe two or three that are actually truly interesting and worth keeping around for long periods of time in your lifetime. Most are going to be hit it and get it. So just remember, recover quickly, always be running your options. If a girl's going to prove herself, let her do so over a long period of time. Everyone benefits. She puts more investment in and she values what she has more. And the girls that bail, that's fine. You know, in and out, in and out. Again, unless you marry right out of high school, you'll run through hundreds, if not thousands of women in your lifetime. Recover quickly, get back in the game, can develop a short memory. Recover quickly. So if you guys have any questions, by all means, let me know in the comments. We will be back here tomorrow morning. I will be here at 6:30 a.m. If you guys have any questions, by all means, drop a note. You can, and if you want to support this channel, you can like, subscribe, share, or purchase our products at myplayboysbunny.gumroad.com. It's got Fuck Like a Porn Star series, or at mine at fortworthplayboy.gumroad.com. We appreciate your stuff. Brick City, thank you. We try to deliver 6 days a week, and we're glad you're here. We're glad for your interaction, and we appreciate your business. Hope you have a great day.